the first 10 days of war are often the most chaotic, the most unpredictable, and sometimes the most revealing. In early March 2026, tensions between the United States and Iran exploded into direct military confrontation, pushing the Middle East into one of the most dangerous crises of the decade. Missiles were launched, military bases were targeted, and across the region, the sound of explosions signaled that a new chapter of conflict had begun. But behind the dramatic headlines and political speeches, another story was unfolding. According to reports from Reuters, as many as 150 American troops were wounded during the first 10 days of the conflict. At first, the numbers were unclear. Early statements from the United States Department of Defense confirmed only a small number of serious injuries. But as more information began to surface, officials acknowledged that around 140 U.S. service members had been wounded since the beginning of the war. Most of the injuries were described as minor, yet the growing number of casualties revealed a deeper truth. This was no longer a distant geopolitical standoff. This was a real war with real consequences. Across the region, American military installations connected to United States Central Command came under repeated attack. Iranian missile strikes targeted strategic facilities believed to support U.S. military operations in the Middle East. In one of the most serious incidents, 6 American soldiers were confirmed killed during an Iranian strike. According to reports, the attack occurred at a military facility in Kuwait, where the soldiers were stationed at the time. The loss of life quickly raised fears that the conflict could spiral into something far larger. Meanwhile, Iranian officials responded with powerful warnings. Senior political figure Ali Larijani rejected speculation about a possible U.S. ground invasion. In a defiant statement, he declared that Iranian forces were ready for a prolonged confrontation and prepared to defend the country at any cost. Larijani also made a dramatic claim. He alleged that more than 500 American soldiers had already been killed within the first 5 days of fighting. However, these claims have not been independently verified, and U.S. officials strongly dispute the numbers. Still, the conflicting narratives highlight one of the most complicated realities of modern warfare. Information itself has become a battlefield. As both sides shape their public messages, the world is left trying to separate confirmed facts from political statements. But beyond the war words, one thing is certain. The confrontation between the United States and Iran carries enormous global risks. The Middle East is home to some of the most important energy routes in the world. A prolonged conflict could threaten shipping lanes, disrupt oil markets, and trigger economic shockwaves far beyond the region. For global powers watching from the sidelines, the stakes could not be higher, and the political context surrounding the conflict only adds more tension. The crisis has unfolded during the presidency of Donald Trump, whose administration has taken a hardline approach toward Tehran. For years, relations between Washington and Iran have remained deeply strained. Sanctions, military pressure, and regional rivalries have steadily pushed the two nations closer to direct confrontation. Now, that confrontation has finally arrived. But the biggest question may not be what has already happened. The real question is what happens next. Will the conflict remain limited to targeted strikes and military bases? Or could it expand into a much larger war involving other countries across the region? History shows that wars in the Middle East rarely stay contained for long. All it takes is one escalation, one miscalculation, one unexpected attack. And suddenly, a regional conflict can become a global crisis. For now, the world is watching closely. Diplomats are urging restraint. Military analysts are studying every new development. Because in conflicts like this, the first 10 days may only be the beginning. The real story may still be unfolding. The real story may still be unfolding. Thank you for watching. If you found this story informative, make sure to support the video by liking, sharing, and leaving your thoughts in the comments. Here on WorldScope, we explore global conflicts, geopolitics, future technologies, world affairs, and the most important stories shaping our planet. If you enjoy this kind of content, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you never miss our upcoming stories. And tell us in the comments, which country are you watching from? Thanks again for being part of WorldScope.